Good evening. This is a JPM impact that comes from Jane Pardy. It's got a fault on it that's been driving them absolutely crazy. It's been stuck out of reset and not been able to resolve it. Board's quite clean otherwise, it's got a couple of repairs on the back, but getting nowhere with it, so he set it up for me to have a look. It's been driving me mental for another reason. So, what I've got to test it with is I've got beat up CPU card, which actually belongs to Jane Pardy. I keep forgetting to send it back to him. Kind of good now that I've still got it, otherwise I've been asking, hey, have you got a CPU card? I've got a ROM card with an Monopoly 60 burning into it, and I've got a power supply with fashion. Not the right power supply, but we'll get on to that in a minute. Now here's the issue. I can't get the fault to appear. It does have, it rebooted this last time. Sometimes it does have the slow boot up problem that you seem to get with these cards when you've got no battery, and it seems to be quite chronic for that JPM 615 PAL chip that I've got in this card. You can see it's a 615 there, it's not a 616. I've got images for both, so I could put a 616 in and compare, but the fault doesn't appear. See? And I left this on overnight and then turned it off and back on. I've tried cutting power to it all of a sudden, simulating various things, and it resets every time. So I can't actually, I mean, it's got some button issues as well, which usually is something to do with this group over here. I mean, you've got your usual U8 and U9 do with the switch matrix itself, but this little group here has something to do with selecting the matrix, but I can't find the reset fault. So, what could it be? Well, one thing, it could be power related. Although he did say the power supply that he's using is fully working, but it could be line voltage related. Now, what I mean by that is, the mains coming into your wall there is listed as 240 volt. Except it's not. For years now it's been averaging about 230 volt, and all the areas of the UK are slightly different. It could be as low as 220, it could be as high as 240. And if you've got a lot of machines or a lot of equipment all plugged into like the same ring main, you could get noise in your line, you could get slight voltage drops, but sometimes these machines can be a little bit finicky. But there was actually a couple of the manufacturers back in the day put out technical bulletins about making slight tweaks to the boards and stuff to account for these differences in voltage. And if you look at most power supplies, even back here in the 90s, they've got voltage selectors for, and this one can go down right down to 200, which I don't think anyone ever is that low here, but you can go to 220 and 240, and this one's big power jump here selected for 240. So I'm wondering if it could be something to do with line voltage. That's perfectly normal, by the way, for this. That little blip there. It's screaming for percent key. Right, yeah. I'm wondering if it's got... It could have something to do with line voltage. It could also be processor specific, or game specific is what I'm meaning. I know that he's testing at his end with Casino Crazy ROMs. Now, I've had issues in the past with Casino Crazy where, basically on a table it doesn't run on some boards. that I attributed it to, again, the power chip here. But it could be that the Casino Crazy ROM is doing something as it tries to boot that other games don't. I mean, I'm just guessing here. It is possible for the 68000 processor here to lock the reset. It could send the reset signal out as well as receive one in. So it could also be custom chip specific. There are lots of different revisions of these custom chips about, even though they all do the same thing. But again, you swap them, you can see one of them's different. So I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, the one that we're looking at in the background, I need to get some shelving or something here. I just accidentally stood in my speaker, but yeah, it looks alright. They're 10 a penny anyway. That came out of a Belfort casino card back in the day. Right, so what was on about the power supply? You can... I don't have an impact power supply. I've got a System 5 one, but you can use a System 5 at a pinch to power an impact board. Let me just get these cards out of the way. Oh, let's get the wrong cards out of the way. Try to do this one hand, hold on. It's not identical. Impact has 12 pins, the System 5 has 11. Plus, you see a bit in a lock bar at the way. The plug's actually the other way around on the System 5 board. But the first 10 leads are exactly the same between System 5 and Impact. You got one lead that's different on this System 5 plug, which is this lead pin 11 here, which on System 5 is the ground, and here is VMIC. VMIC's just your 12 volt power supply for your coin mic. It can be other power supplies as well. Some games, not an Impact, but some games even have it as ground. I think Electrocoin do that. But anyway, all I've done here for a temporary solution is I pulled the ground line out. And then I can use this System 5 power supply here to power my input board. Quite happily. What I'm intending to do with this is I'll put the ground line back, but I'm going to put a switch in the line. Just so that I can switch that ground line back in for System 5 and take it out of the game for Impact. Otherwise, if you left it in, you're just going to be grounding your 12 volt and blow a fuse, which would not be fun. But yeah, like I said, as far as I can see, the board works. Okay, just one thing to put out. I'll need to change that. It's not a good idea to use bare strand lead for a jumper wire. One, the insulation is too fragile and it can pierce through the pins. The pins can pierce it on the solar side too. You can get stray wire, bits of the strand can touch other lines and cause shorts. So I'll just change that for a solid core wire. It's had some minor repairs done up there, but yeah, the board's in very good condition otherwise. I do have Q50 missing there. Right, lost it now. Where's Q50? Or where's the mounting point for Q50, I should say? Right there. does have Q50 missing. Q50 is the interlock from here to the reset, but it's not the issue. I don't know what the issue is. Magic at the minute is stumped. So, what we need to do is I'll send this back and we'll get it back on into the conditions it was in, power supply, cabinet wise, ROM wise. See if the issue still persists. If it does, I'll send this and this down to the cabinet and we'll see if the issue still persists in the cabinet. And apart from that, I don't know. Alright, this will be to be continued. Yeah, I know. Power card, the CPU card's very beaten up. But that's been like that for 10 years. Still works. Bye for now.